Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to It's Something to Do with Pete and Will. We promise it's something to do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to It's Something to Do with Pete and Will. We promise it's something to do. And Will's eating.
I'm chewing. I was promised that you had a story to tell, so I was going to keep eating.
Yeah, I too.
Does the story come in now or later?
Sure, I can start it now.
Fired up.
So I broke my toe.
Let me unmute myself. I know. Yeah. Well, how did this happen?
Again, they're just large toes, and they smash into things. This one got pretty good. But the problem was, it was just before we were going out to Palm Springs to go on vacation. And the place where we stay, there's nothing, it's not like a normal hotel where you just go out on the lobby and there's a bar or a restaurant or something like that. It's this huge complex. And so that you can't get anywhere without walking around. And so
let me interject. I'll unmute myself. What toe did you break?
My pinky toe, and then maybe the second one. The whole thing is black and blue.
So I guess I would say, just don't be such a pussy.
No, I'm not. I did. I walked around. I walked miles in this thing. There's nothing.
Pick it up and get going.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing you can do for a broken toe. Your toe's just broken. That's the way that goes. I've got a little baby chair behind me here. Let's move that. That's when I like to sit and watch. But yeah, so we go out to Palm Springs and we went to a zoo, so I had to walk around a zoo with this stupid black and blue foot, which again, I'm very used to having black and blue feet because of the size of my feet. And then I went to a casino at night, and I lost enough to buy a used jet ski.
You lost enough to buy a used jet ski?
Yeah. Had I kept the money, I would have had a jet ski. But as it is, I've got a broken toe and a lisp.
I'm back in.
Right on.
So two things.
Yeah.
One, I broke my toe last summer. I was coming from my kitchen into the front, to the living room, and I just caught it on the countertop, the edge of the countertop, and I heard it snap.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the doctor, and I was like, "Do I need an X-ray?" The guy looks at me, he's like, "No,
there's nothing we can do.
I'll just put a little tape on it, and
you can tape it together.
You just go about your life." I was like, "Okay."
$500
home. Yeah. And then two, I like the idea. I like that you had to clarify. Actually, I had three things. That was one. Two, I like that you had to clarify. I went to a casino at night. I don't know. As if you were going during the day, we would know then that you were a degenerate.
Right. Exactly. Well, the problem is it was
just 2:00 in the afternoon. I figured, fuck my family. I'll just go gamble. Three, I love the idea of a used jet ski as a marcation of money. How much was your vacation? It was about a used jet ski. It was 1.5 used jet skis.
Yeah.
Not a new one? No.
It only goes.
What am I made of money?
Yeah, it only goes 7 miles an hour. It's kind of a piece of shit, but
it's had somebody's wet balls all over it.
Yeah.
There's a level at which you're not going to pay that much money for a used jet ski that's had somebody else's balls all over it. And that person most likely had a mullet. You don't want some mullet's balls all over your jet ski. Disgusting.
Are we still talking about a jet ski?
Yeah. and the people who buy them and ride them.
Oh, God. Yeah. What am I going to do with a jet ski? We live in the desert.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Buy a baby pool, put it in, and just look at it.
Yeah. Just rev.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So overall, it was a good trip.
No, it was a disaster.
Oh.
So lost $5,000 there or more. I don't know. Less, whatever.
What did you lose it on?
Just blackjack, just playing blackjack. And I think the casinos are trying to make their money back because listen, this is predicated on nothing.
Are you going to accuse San Miguel Casino of like stacking the deck against you more so than they would have if we had just gone through COVID? They're like, you know what?
No,
take out some kings. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be playing with 4 or 5 decks, but just take a few other cards out and throw them in the trash.
Yeah, no, the exact opposite. But the funny thing was so a guy sits down next to me and starts to play, and you get to talking to the people that are sitting around you, and he happens to be an attorney from somewhere. His name was Alex. Shout out Alex, I guess.
You didn't tell him about this, did you?
Yeah, I did.
He sat there. He's like, what do you do? He's like, I'm an attorney. What do you do? He's like, funny you should mention that. I've got a podcast.
Yeah, I'm nickel and diamond.
Literally,
do you guys want to watch a little piece of it here?
Ones of people will watch on a daily basis.
Well, here's the funny thing. He said, "Are you Peter from the It's Something to Do podcast?" I said, "Are you serious, dude? I am. Not only am I not full of shit, he brought out specifics about the podcast."
Are you sure this wasn't a private investigator following you for some reason?
Yeah, exactly. Is my wife like, make sure he doesn't spend $5,000?
Exactly. No, that guy got fired. That guy for sure lost his job.
He said your all's conversation made my dad get the vaccine because he wasn't going to get it. But my parents watch it, my sister watches it, and I watch it. I said, well, then you're the ones that watch it. Oh, it was so interesting.
Well, thank you, Attorney Alex.
Yeah. So what ended up happening as this story unfolds is he offered to get you lost
Uber. A bunch more money, borrowed some from him, lost that money too, and now you're in deep to Alex, and he owns this podcast.
Yeah, no, he had me do a selfie video for his sister, where I said, "Hey, it's something to do with Pete and Will. Thanks for watching." He's like, "Oh, that's huge."
I am finding this whole thing very hard to believe,
dude. If we had a way to call him, I'd call him right now and put him on. But because it's not only not a joke. I'm gonna need
Alex to leave a comment on one of these videos to let me know that this is a real fucking story.
Alex,
if there's not a comment on one of these videos in like a month,
a day,
I'm just gonna assume you're just lying to me.
I promise you, this is not a lie. I'm telling you. And the next part isn't a lie either.
I was on TV for years, and I think I can count on one hand the number of times I've been recognized in public.
That's why it blew my mind. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I said, there's no way you're, what are you talking about? And he's like, we watched your show. I was like, well, all right.
Well, all right.
So he said, well, let me buy your Uber back to your hotel. And I don't know if you
he just watched you lose a bunch of money.
No. Well,
he's maybe. Like, do you need a ride somewhere? Yeah. I got it. Don't worry.
But for those of you who don't know anything about Palm Springs, every hotel looks exactly the same. And some of them are even called the same. And so I was staying at a Westin. And so I just said, take me to the Westin. And so he did. And it was like, 3 blocks away. I say to the guard, and he actually records me talking to the guard because he's, I guess, enamored. I mean, look at me. Apparently I'm gorgeous.
Well, you're beautiful.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but you're like an Adonis.
Yeah. So anyway, so I say to the guard my name and the room number and things like that, and they let us in. And then I get dropped off, and now I'm walking around this Westin. And I call Bridget and I said, hey, will you come out and just wave to me? Because I I'm out in front of the number, the building number that we're supposed to be in, but I can't find the actual room number. And I'm going up and down elevators and walking around. Like, I know where to go. But it's not the right Westin. I'm 20 minutes away from the correct Westin.
Oh my God.
So
not the Westin in Palm Springs. You're looking for the Westin in Palm Desert. Oh no, not the Westin.
Whatever.
You're looking for the one in Indian Wells.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't
for fuck's sake.
I didn't think there was a different one. So I'm walking around this thing on this broken toe, probably did like 2 miles. And I thank God I did this. I took a photo of my actual location on like, your map and sent it to Bridget just before my phone died. Now I've got a dead phone.
That's like basically the equivalent of like sending a like screenshot of your map with where you are is like the equivalent, the modern equivalent of setting up a flare.
Right.
Like, so in the old days it'd be like, but now it's here I am, come find me. The battery dies.
So I'm just hoping that people don't notice that, because it's like 3:00 in the morning.
Peter Osterhaus from It's Something to Do with Pete and Will is just standing outside of a Westin in Palm Springs with his pockets turned out. He's got no money, no phone.
This massive celebrity. And by the way, we got on Reddit for some reason. I don't know how that happened. And then
you don't want people to recognize you and call TMZ on you in the desert. Of course, I understand. It's a tale as old as time. What were we on Reddit for?
No idea. I couldn't find it. But somebody mentioned it. So to continue this,
what are you people doing? What are you people doing?
To continue this journey, my phone's dead, and then I had to sit down because I've now walked so far that my foot is just killing me. Mm-hmm. But there's nowhere to sit. They don't have benches anywhere, so I just sit on this pipe in the parking lot, hoping my wife finds me. But
leaves your children.
No, she didn't. She had to wake them up, put them in the car, and drive 15 minutes.
Oh my God.
And so he finally found me, and needless to say, everybody was in a real jazzy mood.
And then she's like, at least tell me you won some money. You're like, you have any idea how much a used jet ski costs? She's like, yeah. You're like, well, I lost it.
Here's the thing.
Fuck you, sit on that pipe for a little while longer.
Exactly.
You get the fuck out of the car.
How far can you walk? I'm going to drive next to you.
And then is this story end with you getting your toes amputated because you walked on your broken toe so much the doctor was like, well, we're cutting them off. There's nothing else we can do.
No, it was jazzy. And then I went back 2 days later. I've been out there all week.
It's like, and the same exact thing happened. I lost 5 used jet skis over the course of a week.
This is well, fortunately, it was a worse jet ski.
I lost a used jet ski, a used pontoon boat, and a used kayak.
Yeah.
Separately on separate occasions. I am an atrocious gambler. I'm just not good at cards.
Me neither.
I'm not good at. I think there was.
I mean, I know how it works.
Sure, but I don't understand like the nuances of like, oh, bet on this and not on this because there's X number of cards left in the deck and they've pulled this many. At that point, it's like, I am here. Just take my money. I'm going to leave. Exactly. And then also, for whatever reason, unless I've gone with friends and it's been all of us at a table, anytime that I've sat down at a table, it's always like, God, the fucking dealer's weird. The people sitting next to me are weird. And I'm losing money. I'm like, what am I doing here?
You have to go to a nice casino because there's a lot of really not nice casinos. And those ones are real
but I do feel like the not nice casinos, I think I'm more attracted to the nice ones. Because it's just more interesting. Like, sure, I don't know what's a fancy hotel in Vegas, whatever. Whatever the fanciest hotel in Vegas is, you could go to
like the Bellagio or something like that.
Sure. And then you could go to the casino and you could sit with fancy people that are well-mannered and interesting. But it's like, again, it's, it seems pretty run of the mill.
Well, they also have to pay for all that
ones,
stuff. So there's a chance that good chance you're not going to win.
No, of course not. Oh, I would never assume that I would win anything at a casino.
Yeah.
I'm just not that person. But at the seedier casinos, it's like, there's a story here. There's a story. And after about 10 minutes, I don't want any part of it. But it's the allure of the crappy, broke down, scary casino with the crappy, broke down, scary people in it that seems appealing. And then when I'm actually confronted with the reality, I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I guess the tag on my story to end it, I ended up getting up from the pipe and starting to walk towards what I thought was the street, which turned out to be a cul-de-sac. But Bridget drove up, and because I had a limp because of a broken toe, she's like, it was like The Walking Dead. You look like a zombie walking down the street. It was awful.
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah.
I'm glad you had an eventful vacation, though.
Shut up. It was awful, you asshole.
I'm glad it's a story. It's a good story.
Well, that's what I said to Bridget. I said, hey,
at least it's a story.
It was 120 degrees and it was dragging my sweaty ass all over the place.
God, that's funny.
And the zoo out there, they only have like indigenous things. Well, I guess that's not exactly true because they had hyenas, but it's like snakes and stuff. So you go out there and you look at a snake and then you're like, it's 120 degrees. Let's go home.
They're like, have you ever seen a housefly?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm good. I'm out of here.
Well, it's funny because we sat there and we had just gone into the reptile section, but there's reptiles there. So as we're eating, there's just lizards walking around. They're like, oh, that would get out? I'm like, I don't know,
what's the
maybe.
difference between the salamander on the floor and the salamander in the cage?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
I think they're understaffed.
Yeah, exactly. Do you work here? One's walking around asking for tips.
And they're big too. They're not little ones.
It's like, hey man, I got family.
Yeah, I've got those in my yard.
Help out here.
I also was remiss. The group that I've become a part of that has indoctrinated me as their fifth person, which is almost as much as this.
Is it in sync?
No, it's Midnight Oasis, and it's Fernando, Papa, Darth, and Jess, and we talk, and it's actually really.
Have you figured out if they're trying to indoctrinate you into a terrorist ring yet?
No.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, right. Yes, that's right. We brought this.
Just trying to make sure that you're not
no,
secretly funding, terrorism by sending these people money.
They're wonderful people. Sometimes get a little sensitive. So I love them and I really enjoy talking to them.
What are their sensitive parts?
All of our sensitive parts.
No, I mean, like, what are their weaknesses, Peter?
That I didn't mention them on the podcast.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. By name.
By name. So, and I'm not joking. Don't get sensitive. Everything's fine. But it's funny that they made videos for us. Mm-hmm. I think I sent you one to you or two to you.
Oh yes, yeah.
And I thought that was very sweet. I mean, they literally edited videos and put them up, and they've got thousands of followers, and we've got 20. What are we at? 40.
Alex, the lawyer, and his family.
Yeah. Well,
and that's it. Not even our own families.
Well, and it's on Clapper, Midnight Oasis, and I've got 300 followers on there, and I haven't even tried anything. I don't know who those people are either. Who's watching this?
No.
I might get more recognized by that than this. And we put a lot of energy into this. Look at seriously. I write down things all week.
I mean, you do that.
I go
I can do that too. Look at the thing that I've got. I just have all these notes all over the place. Just pages and pages of notes.
But I do.
of just notes. And here's another one that's different than the one that I showed you before. It's just notes and pages of things that I've written down and sketched out about this specific show.
Don't be cavalier with the amount of time I put into this. I wrote during my shitty vacation
What'd you write?
about the shitty vacation.
Oh, the whole first part of this.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole first few minutes.
I didn't want to miss a beat. But what's problem with it, like those places, it's interesting because they're so large that again, I didn't know where to go. Like, where are you going to go? Well, you have to go out and find a guy with a golf cart and jump on the back of it. And I don't know if he works there or not, or if he's playing golf. I'm like, can you take me to the wherever the restaurant is?
Get out of my fucking golf cart. I'm in the middle of a round.
You're like, yeah, I'll play along.
The clubs didn't give it away for you.
Yeah, can I share your clubs? I'd love to play golf.
Yeah, I like golf. I'll go where you're going.
Yeah, I'll start at hole.
I got the shot. I'm good, man. Don't be weird about it.
Yeah, I'll start at hole 14.
Come on, I'll hold the pin. Just get me away from my family, please. They already hate me because I've lost 10 jet skis.
They're just looking at me all the time. And we went from a big place to a smaller place with less to do.
You're like, oh, the pool. That'll be so exciting. And then they're like, what else?
Yeah.
What else are we going to do? You're like, you could go outside and bake. You could cook from the inside out because it's a bajillion degrees.
Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, I'm starting to leak. It's funny.
I mean, at least it's not out of your nose like last week. Unless we cut that part out.
Well, I didn't have him cut it out, but I had him zoom in on you because I didn't see that until I watched it back, and that is gross.
It was a very long booger. That's what I said.
I didn't. Well, yeah, but I heard you say it. I didn't realize. And how... then, I showed it to Bridget. She's like, "What happened there?" I was like, part of my brain fell out, apparently. I don't know. It was a disaster.
After that happened, I couldn't remember my own mailing address. I couldn't remember what hotel I was staying at.
Yeah, exactly. I ended up sitting on a pole somewhere.
If you had kept that part in, you would have known. You would have known exactly where you were staying.
Well, the guy let us in. Like, I gave him my information. He opened the gate. So I was
what are they doing? Yeah, what are they doing?
Why wouldn't I believe that to be the place where I'm supposed to go?
Exactly. Be like, no, you're not on the list, man.
I did have a Red Bull vodka though. So
before we shot this?
No.
Oh, that
night.
That night.
Yeah. No, I drink this garbage. Let's see.
What is that garbage? Oh, wait, what is that garbage?
It's not a sponsor. We don't talk about it. Come on, Will.
Whatever. I was just holding up a fucking IKEA booklet. Who gives a shit?
Is this your first
sponsors?
We've been doing this now for like.
How are you going to get the case of free shit unless you say it on air? That's how it works. They don't throw money at you first. You gotta entice them and be like, look how much I talk about your thing. And then they send you a case, and then you discuss a partnership, a financial partnership.
It's White Claw.
You drink a White Claw 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
2:30.
Yeah, it's 2:30, and it's seltzer. I mean, it doesn't do anything. It's not like I'm having a vodka martini.
I wish you were. I wish you were.
Yeah, unless you've got any, and then I'll take one.
I wish you were. It would be more respectable than drinking a White Claw.
You know what's funny about this is Will's actually sitting directly next to me. I was going somewhere with that, but you didn't play along.
I didn't know where to go. I was just going to let the White Claw work itself out. And then.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. You don't.
I was going to see where it went. And then I was going to.
No, you don't. You don't get drunk with these. That's for sure. I guess if you had 50 of them or whatever it was.
I don't know. Or if you were a college student on spring break.
Yeah, I mean, we already made the Zima joke. You know, when we were in college, I had Zimas and you put a Jolly Rancher in it.
Yeah.
What's going on? Tell me.
Nothing is going on, Peter. It's the same shit. It's Groundhog Day when you've got a newborn. He's in like he's very, very, very fussy now, which is just awesome. So grumpy. He's the grumpiest little baby. So yeah, that's what's going on. What are you doing? Did you mute yourself? Are you blowing your nose? Oh, there we go. So yeah, we've been taking Ava swimming. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's going to bed at 10 o'clock at night and waking up at 2 a.m. and then wash and repeat. It's not very exciting.
Yeah. Are you just exhausted?
I'm not too bad. But yeah, I feel worse for my wife, obviously.
Yeah. Have you gone out, done anything? Did you go to Palm Springs and lose a jet ski or?
No. I took a jet ski and I just threw it down the storm drain though. So I figured same difference.
You're just sitting in the driveway waiting to rain.
Yeah. I just figured I would just, instead of just like actively gambling it away, I would just like push it down a drain and figure out, oh, well, fuck it. It's gone. We haven't done anywhere. As I said, we've been taking my daughter Ava swimming at whatever, it doesn't really matter where, but and that's been super fun. But that's really been like, we're not going out to dinner because the boy is too, he's just not like chilled out enough yet to go to dinner.
And it's hot.
Nor do I think my wife would be like, things just opened up here this Tuesday. But I still think that she's a little bit like, I don't really know if I want to be taking my brand newborn baby out into the world until we know exactly what's going to happen. And it seems a little more unpredictable now that it's open, even though out in at least where I've been, it's been open for 2 days now. Everybody's still wearing masks. Yeah, I'm seeing people out at restaurants and stuff when I drive through the neighborhood, but most people are still masked.
There was no masks in Palm Springs, nothing.
But that's the thing that I heard about Palm Springs in like the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah, but they also didn't have any cases. They're like we checked to see what the case situation was, and
they didn't have any over the summer. Or
no, they had cases, but I'm talking about just this last week.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it diminished.
Sure. Yeah.
So
as it has with like many of our areas, but yeah, I'd heard that our neighbors across the street used to have maybe just offloaded it. I don't really know, but they would spend a substantial portion of their time out in Palm Springs, and they came back midway through the pandemic and they were like, they are not wearing masks out there. They do not give a fuck. It's kind of like the intersection of the locals of Palm Springs who are like retired people, artsy people, like gay couples, and then also like what you would consider the typical, like, almost stereotypical freedom loving, like, I'm not wearing a mask, you're impinging on my freedom. And I don't know why they talk like that living in Palm Springs, but they're there. And so he's like, it's kind of the mix of people who just like, on both sides of it, there are people who just like didn't give a shit and just didn't wear masks. Now, we went to Palm Springs in October, and I mean, I saw a lot of people eating out, but we didn't venture outside the house very frequently. And so I don't know where I was going with that. But where was I going with that?
Well, we were just
this is what happens when you're working on like 4 hours of sleep.
Well,
for
me
multiple
too.
Days in a row. What are we doing here? What the fuck am I doing?
Are we recording this?
What?
Who watches this? What?
How long have you been watching me?
What? Why am I writing things down?
Who are you?
Yeah, this is just going on to the nothing.
So that's so long story short, We have not done anything. We've not done anything. And I don't really anticipate doing much.
No,
I don't really
of course
anticipate
not.
doing much
No,
for a
yeah,
while. You know,
of
like the
course.
kid, like there's a fussy period. There's a particularly fussy period for kids that's apparently like 4 to 6 weeks, and we're sort of right smack in the middle of it. So
And then until they're 18.
yes, and then again when they're like 40.
Yeah, I'm fussy.
And so we've just got to, like, you know, when I remember going out to eat with Ava when she was brand new, like 3 weeks old, and you could almost time it. You'd go out and she'd be asleep in the thing, the carrier, and you'd be like, okay, we got 25 minutes to eat and get the fuck out of here before she loses her shit. And
Yeah.
so you'd be like, they'd come to the table. You'd be like, I need this, this, and this right away. Just don't even wait. Just fire it all right now and bring it as it's ready.
Bring it
And
cold.
then it comes to play, and you
Even
shovel
if it's
it in.
somebody else's. Just
You
bring
shovel it
that
in.
from that table over here.
Exactly.
And, I'll pay for
And
it
you're
again.
not really doing it because you're like, oh my God, this is so enjoyable eating with a newborn. Look at us. We're at a restaurant. You're like, you're doing it almost to say, like, I did it. As a badge of honor,
Yes.
I fucking did it. I
That
went
was
out to
the
eat.
zoo.
I didn't let it stop me. I did it, but you're not enjoying it. It's goddamn miserable. The second that kid goes, starts screaming, you're like, you wish you could teleport like back home immediately because it's more embarrassing than, I don't know, somebody walking into the restaurant and yanking your pants down in front of everybody. You have the same hot flash to your face that would happen if you got pantsed in a restaurant.
Bridget had to drive to and from Palm Springs because my foot was broken, and I didn't want to have any. I mean, it hurt, but I also, you know, I think
a fistful of Percocet. So you're like, I probably shouldn't be driving.
Again, I crushed them up and just put all the dust in my face.
Yeah.
But you know, it's one of those things they tell you not to. If you have a broken foot, don't drive. And I've done nothing to repair it, so that was sweet of her. And then on the way back,
when you say you've done nothing to repair it, are you talking about your foot or your marriage after this trip?
The marriage, yes, but that's day to day. I mean, it's a one day at a time kind of situation at this point. Yeah. So
I haven't even like watched the news or anything. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, neither have I. I really don't. That's actually not true.
I feel like such a bad citizen.
The girls pissed me off in the car, and so I made them listen to CNN, and it was Joe Biden talking the entire time, and he's like, we're just trying to get Russia.
This is a terrible Joe Biden. This is a terrible Joe Biden.
No, this is what he sounded like. He sounded just hammered. Because I was just trying to get everybody back on board. You know, we got Putin, and he's, you know, we're just trying to be sweet with Putin. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Have somebody else speak for you, or just move your lips.
That's a terrible.
Have somebody else talk.
That's a terrible. That was as bad an impression as my freedom-loving people from Palm Springs.
Yeah.
They were both on the same level of not even close. Not even close.
Where this is not a political show. I just am.
I'll get there in a second, though. I'll do it.
I'm just reporting.
I don't even know what I'm talking about right now, but
I support our president and however he speaks. But that was a tough one to go through because he was out. They were in Russia, right? Was he?
No,
or it was like a UN
Geneva,
thing?
I think.
Geneva. Oh yeah. Geneva.
That much I know. NATO. I think it was a NATO, and then a G7, and then a meeting with Putin.
Well, because at first it's kind of like this podcast. First you're like, hey, this is something that we can listen to, and then it just trails off, and then collapses at the end, which nobody makes it to.
What are we talking? Are we talking about Joe's speech?
No, we're talking about our podcast.
Oh, our podcast? Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
We come out of
tighter is better. Shorter is better.
Yeah. We
Pack
come out of
all your good stuff out front and then get out before people realize, what the fuck am I listening to? Yeah.
We We listened to him talk about it. The child that we'll never meet. Oh God. It's funny is so my so I am trepidatious about talking about this, but the my daughter's teacher is a man, and he's great. He's a great teacher.
Mm-hmm.
But he sent a written letter to us about her, which is really amazing. But I can't fathom doing that. First of all, teaching a bunch of third graders or fourth graders, but then writing each one of them a letter. I think the whole thing's bullshit. I mean, I appreciate it, but he's complimenting them. I'm like, these are snot-nosed kids. I live with this person. What are all these compliments?
He's trying to build her fucking confidence. Apparently, he sees that in her. He's like, well, you must not be getting it at home. Your parents just called you a snot-nosed kid on the internet on a show that's going to live forever. And so maybe you need somebody to tell you, you know what? You're really smart. You're really talented. You've got a good work ethic and a nice drive. And you'll go places if you apply to yourself.
Listen, all those things are said. They get I love yous all day, every day. However,
is it like this? I love you little snot-nosed piece of shit.
I wrote
now get the fuck out of here so I could go watch a whatever podcast about whatever random comedian.
But you know what I mean? Like, if you were forced to sit down and write to 30 children, you're like, okay, this one's a
but that's what you do. Like,
nobody does that. They don't do that in public school.
Somebody got that letter. That was like, dear Timmy,
you're not coming back next year.
With a lot of the other kids, I just had glowing things to say about them. They're sweet, they're tender, they're emotionally connected to who they are. They're responsible, they're socially responsible.
Right. You showed up.
They displayed an intelligence. You have a lack of all of those things. You're an absolute void of a human being. You're a tremendous piece of shit, and I fucking hate you. So go fuck yourself and enjoy fucking 7th grade. I hope it fucks you.
And that's from a Catholic school.
You remedial motherfucker.
And that would be framed. I'm not kidding you. That would go for money.
By the way, that just came out. I'm going to start using that. You remedial motherfucker.
I thought we were going to be sweet to each other. You talking to me?
I'm talking to anybody now because I had liked for a while dunce as an insult. Motherfucker's always near the top of my insult list. I just feel like it's a good.
Well, that's intense. Yeah,
that's the number one thing.
I like troglodyte or dolt.
Dolt is good, but yeah, remedial motherfucker. That's a good. God, it just strikes me as like.
Well,
honestly, enjoy your crayons. Enjoy your.
Learn how to make money doing that.
Enjoy your whatever.
Dolt's good because you can say it to somebody and they're like, I don't know what is that a compliment or did he just call me an adult? No.
A bolt? What the fuck's up? What do you mean a bolt? You're a bolt.
Yes, I am an adult. No, that's not what I said.
Well, good for this guy. I don't know. I mean, I know that I had.
Listen, he's wonderful. He's a really wonderful guy. I just, in my mind, I can't fathom doing that.
Well, no, I also, despite the fact that you are a parent, can't imagine a lot of people voluntarily leaving their children with you for a day.
With me personally?
Yes, with you personally.
Oh, no. Well, that's the problem.
No.
The whole neighborhood comes over here.
Yeah.
I'll have like 6 kids in the backyard that I've got to entertain. And I'm like, what's happening here? I want to go into my office and watch podcasts. This one, it's something
you should be writing nice things about all those kids that come over to your house. If you wanted to be any kind of mentor or father figure to any of these kids, let alone your own kids, you should be writing nice letters to them.
Can you imagine these children going home? Peter wrote me a note.
He gave me a he wrote a postcard to me that says, "You rock," but the
Hey.
"you" isn't even spelled out. It's just the letter U.
Yeah, it's like my texts. They're all
And it's
weird.
Instead of spelling out rock, I think he drew a gray, what I thought was a cloud at first. And then it turned out it's a rock. It turned out to be a rock.
Well, he had a lot of them to write because everybody comes over here.
Dear Johnny, hi. Sincerely, Peter.
Right. And
Mr. O.
I tried to draw a dragon on the front of it or something. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Enjoy this picture of a confused stick man.
Oh, I'm so tired.
That yeah. No. I don't have, I know that I had great teachers and I can remember a number of them, but I don't, but if you were going back to like middle school, no, I don't remember any of those. I don't remember any of those people. That was like, 32 years ago. I don't remember any of that, but there are
the vice principal was Miss Sparks. I remember that.
I do. Shit, what the fuck was his name?
I had to see her a lot.
We had maybe it was Mr. Ireland. We had the principal of my middle school.
I don't remember principal's name.
Why only because of the story. At some point in my educational career, during a parent-teacher conference, he told my parents that college wasn't for everyone, and sometimes just getting a good vocation is enough for a person to live a happy life. Something along those lines, meaning, and no disrespect to them. Exactly. And he's not smart enough to go to college. He should just pick a trade and do it. And that will be enough for him to, and I mean, maybe, yeah, but I've
talked to you a lot. I think that's probably a good idea. I mean,
yeah,
especially given our current circumstances.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Now I'm like, shit, we went to the hospital. So I was like, could I be an ultrasound technician? This doesn't look too bad. I could do this.
I can do our own hearing tests.
But yeah, fuck that guy. I mean, it's like, whatever. I don't need to deal with it. It's not like I have a chip on my shoulder that's driven me.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
For 40 years, 32 years because of it.
Well, that's what they say. If you want to,
one of the top high schools and then one of the top colleges, it's fine. Yeah. I got no problem with that. You are totally right on the money, bro.
That's what they say is succeed, and then you show them off.
And that's when I realized at a very young age that's what I was motivated by. Revenge.
Is that why you were outside my house last night?
It's why
you're forcing me into this.
Listen, but if you want your fucking used jet ski back, you know where to find it.
Got a 3 on it. It's just gray. It's shitty. I think Kevin James has a joke about that.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah,
I got on the jet ski. It's like blah, 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 blah. It's not going anywhere. He's just sinking in water in this crappy jet ski. He's like, it's got an 8 on it or whatever it is.
That's funny.
Very funny.
All right, man.
Well,
that feels like a strong place to end it to me.
I think we're doing this, and again, if this is what we're going for, we nailed it. And if you're still watching, we'd really like it if you would comment or just ask us questions. That would be great, because
I'm all right.
There's a lot to talk about, and
none of you have spoken up so far, so fine. Fuck it. Fuck you. I'm fine. I don't give a shit.
Well, that's why I reached out to my
remedial motherfuckers. You probably don't even know how to write.
Doesn't help. Jesus Christ.
You can't leave comments on YouTube in crayon.
You imagine?
You could just write us a self-addressed stamped envelope to Go Fuck Yourself USA and put your comment on there and shove it up your ass.
Oh, Christ. Uh, I hope nobody watches this.
That, by the way, is the real me.
Yeah, no, I know.
I had to stuff that part down so that I could be a functional member of society.
Yeah. Thank you for leaving it to the end because we're both very similar in that
chop
department.
Out.
Yeah. No, we're good.
No, we appreciate
hilarious.
all tens of you listening, especially Alex, the lawyer, and your family. And I'm glad your grandfather got the shot. It's a lifesaver.
It is.
Wait. Okay, before we finish up,
the
thing that you told me about your sister thinking that it was a key, I've now seen not a key. The shot made you magnetized or whatever.
Right.
I've now seen like a dozen videos of people in front of other people at like town hall meetings being like, this thing magnetized me. And then taking a key and sticking it to their arm in front of everybody and having it fall right the fuck off.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Could you imagine
if you dragged your ass all the way to the city council meeting to not be able to prove that is actually a thing?
I would die of embarrassment.
Yeah, they lick it first so that it kind of has
COVID,
and then they lift their arm.
I'd be like, at that point, I'd be like, oh my God, I think getting COVID would actually be less painful, the embarrassment that I'm feeling right now.
You know that we're trying to
dumb thing. And then two, not even trying it out first.
Yeah. You know, we're trying to get potholes filled here. This is a pretty small committee meeting where we've got things we have to do and we've got 20 minutes to do it.
Yeah. We're trying to talk about whether to repaint the library or not. Where are you going with this?
We're tearing down statues and you're putting keys in your arm. I mean, how long do we have to wait for this?
Come on.
Well, no, it's not this key. Let me try my other
next
keys.
Order of business. Well, let me try paperclip. Hold on, wait a minute. I got a piece of corrugated metal from the scrap metal yard, whatever the fuck. I don't know.
And they're just sitting there with their White Claw. Okay, well, just go ahead.
I swear to God, it worked at home. I swear it worked at home. You're going to see the people on the back of these videos being like, oh,
don't make me snot again.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I have to pay extra for that.
Fucking Janet took her tinfoil hat off long enough to come to this meeting and just derailing the whole thing.
Yeah, you walk into Applebee's and they're like, you're the key girl, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. You can't. I know.
She's like, I got it here. Oh, tell her.
Oh, Jesus. That was my house key.
Yeah.
So I got to throw a rock through my window.
Can you guys
how am I going to
look around for a key? Oh, no. I glued that. I glued that thing on for the council meeting. Yeah.
I used the Loctite glue and now it won't come off. So, I can't start my car with my key glued to my shoulder.
I didn't know that you put it on the space, and now I've just got it on my forehead. So I gotta use my forehead to open my door.
Well, let me tell you this, genius. If it doesn't magnetize you, how come I swallowed it a week ago and it still hasn't come out yet?
And I'm checking. I'm
looking.
Yeah.
Every time I poop, I'm digging for that key.
Well, Will and I
in my front yard because I can't get in to use my toilet because it was my house key, as I said, and it hasn't come out yet. Unrelated, my stomach hurts a lot.
But I've got a lean-to up against a tree in the back,
exactly.
And I'm, using that pretty well, I guess. I don't know.
Got a cinder block as my pillow. It's great. It's fine. I'm doing fine.
I can't wait for the next city council meeting.
I fought a raccoon for a sandwich that my neighbor threw out. Because again, as I said, can't get in my house.
Yeah, I tried to get in the dog door, but I gained the COVID-20.
I think the key made me gain 25 pounds.
Thank goodness I went in with my feet first so I could still breathe.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. The level of stupidity is just...
Oh, God.
Oh, I love it.
Hey,
Every now and then I'm like,
oh,
we need to make a point of like educating people a little bit better in this country. Then you see a video like that, and you're like, yeah, fuck it.
You're like, that guy's got a doctorate and he's got his
Fuck
foot in
it.
a dog door.
These honestly,
Yeah.
you know,
He's got a key glued to his
what
shoulder.
else would we be laughing at?
He's got a key glued to his shoulder and he's got his foot in the dog door.
Yeah,
And he's my general practitioner.
exactly. He's my oncologist.
Yeah. What is he giving me? He's like, no, you just rub the glue right here. Like,
Exactly.
well, no, that's not
I
at all. What
Where did you
do.
get your
I
medical
didn't think-
degree from?
Yeah, exactly. Home Depot. Like I think I actually need medicine.
That's not how
these kinds of
cancer
things.
works.
Yeah, are you
You don't
injecting
need
me?
chemo. You just lick a battery. Same thing.
You got Gorilla Glue going in me here? Because
Mhm.
that's starting to harden.
Mhm. What you need to do is eat a little dry cement. Get it in there. Try to swallow it before it gets hard. Because if you swallow it while it's hard, it's going to be very difficult. But if you swallow dry cement, get it down there before it hits your stomach, that's going to cure up your cancer.
Like, I feel like I've gained 20 pounds in like a day. They're like, well, how much dry cement did you take? I was like, well, the bag of it. I mean,
yeah.
This is your prescription. I literally have it on a
dummy.
piece of paper.
I
You
only prescribed 4 cups of it.
Yeah,
You ate the whole 50-pound bag?
I figured it'd be better. You're telling me what to do.
And that's my impression of millions of people who live in this country. You goddamn liberal elite motherfucker. I've never once eaten dry cement mix. I've tasted it.
I've got my car on blocks out front, but you can't tell me what to do.
You can't tell me.
And I'm from Virginia, so I can make that accent.
I'm just smug and exhausted. Don't worry. I've done plenty of my own stupid shit in the last few weeks. Don't worry. I'm not any better. Just dumb in a different way.
Well, I love you.
I love you. Gotta go take care of my baby.
Have a
Give my
wonderful
wife
time.
A small break from the.
Again, I'm glad that you had a nice break. Being able to talk to a guy.
Yes, I am. I also,
This is
I'm
rare.
sweating through my shirt because it is. I'm in my garage and
It's 110.
It's 100 degrees in here. I am wildly uncomfortable.
Well, we did it.
All right, bud. I'll
And I
talk to you
love
next
it.
week.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.